Good morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us this morning. If you're watching this live, thanks for that. If you're watching this show, please remember that we do upload it to www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. Appreciate you listening or watching there. We do have audio or video versions. Traffic this morning, it's looking pretty rough at the moment on I-12 westbound. Hadn't been a real great week for traffic. Delays starting at O'Neill and backed up all the way to Jubin Road, looking like a couple of wrecks melded in there. It's causing delays at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190 in Denham Springs. Also causing some delays on Range Avenue as folks try to get on the interstate or try to decide, do I really want to take the interstate or not today? There's also some delays on Highway 64 heading into Central, as well as delays on Greenville Springs if you take a left there. Still folks filing out of the larger high schools, so keep an eye on that, especially in the Walker, Watson, and Denham area. It's currently 70 degrees. It is going to get up to 76 today. Going to be rather warm in the mid-afternoon, but then it looks like those showers are going to get here a little early. Going to come in the afternoon/evening. Going to get down to 49 degrees tonight, so be prepared to wake up to cold weather tomorrow, at least for a couple of days. Mr. Scott Perilou, who is the 21st Judicial District Attorney, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot for you. So Mr. Perilou has recused himself, as he did with Dennis and Cynthia Perkins. He has now recused himself of Miss Melanie Curtin's, from Miss Melanie Curtin's trial, citing, local ties as well as just a conflict of interest, especially since Mr. Dennis Perkins is involved, and he had tried cases alongside Mr. Perkins, especially using him as a witness in the past. Ms. Curtin recently had a $350,000 bond set by Judge Jeff Johnson for one count of rape and one count of video voyeurism. The Parish Council tomorrow, we'll talk more about a lot of the little things they have going on their agenda, but today wanted to bring back up that the beginning of the agenda, it says right there, they are going to try one more time for a chair and a vice chair. Again, this past time that they voted 2 weeks ago, Mr. Shane Mack of District 9 was absent, so they had a 4-4 tie on chair, vice chair, and everything like that. Councilman Jeff Ard from District 1 was eventually elected as a temporary chair for that meeting. The votes were split for chair between Gary Frog Talbert and John Wascom. The votes were split for vice chair between Mr. Tracy Gerlinghouse and Mr. Randy DeLatte. Mr. DeLatte nominated himself, as did Mr. I can't remember who nominated Gary Talbert. I'm sorry about that. So looking today, Mr. Bubba Harris nominated John Wascom, and Mr. Talbert nominated Tracy Gerlinghouse for vice chair. I do know that when we're talking about vice chair. So going to be looking forward to the meeting tomorrow, looking to see who gets elected as a chairman. That caused a bit of consternation for about 20 minutes at the beginning of the last meeting. So it will be interesting to see who gets elected, it looks like Mac is going to be a tiebreaker, and who he's going to cast his lot in with at this next meeting. So that'll be tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. in the Parish Council chambers. They're also going to be voting on whether or not to move the Parish Council meetings up to 6 as opposed to 6:30. So that's very interesting. That was requested by Parish President Leighton Ricks, because a lot of his directors have to give reports to the council and usually end up just having to sit around after the workday. So he would appreciate it if the council was to move up the meeting, which they seem to be amenable to. So it looks like a lot of parish council meetings, or all the parish council meetings in the future, will start at 6 p.m. Doyle Lady Tigers stayed undefeated. Again, you can check out a podcast we did with Rob DeArmond and Coach Sam White last week. She said, they had a road trip to North Lake Christian on Friday, but the big game was last night against St. Thomas Aquinas. That was the big hump they needed to get over. They did it. They beat St. Thomas on the road. Quite a game. Mr. Rob DeArmond was on hand. So congratulations to Doyle Lady Tigers. There are tons of scores that are still going to be rolling out from tomorrow for basketball and soccer. It looks like Denham Springs boys soccer claimed a district title last night, so we'll be looking forward to talk about that tomorrow. But tons of scores at www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. Go check that out. The Walker area students for a talented theater program are going to be putting on their rendition of West Side Story. It's going to be at New Covenant Church. It's going to start tomorrow, February 6th, 7 p.m. $10 at the door. It's going to run through Saturday. So it's a large group of theater students who are going to be putting that on. Again, that's at New Covenant Church in Denham Springs. They're going to be performing West Side Story. McHugh Stained Glass and Art, Miss Ellen Feehan Gray is the owner. A real interesting story there. Mr. David Gray got over there and got to interview her. Ran a dairy farm for 16 years in upstate New York. Somehow ended up here and is now in her 4th year of having this stained glass shop in downtown Denham Springs. She's got a little bit of something for everybody. It's definitely worth checking out. So please do. She is in the downtown antique district. She's been there for 4 years. Just a lot of really cool stuff in her shop. Well worth the look if you're interested in stained glass and artwork. She has paintings and things of that nature as well. So again, McHugh Stained Glass and it's Stained Glass and Fine Art in the Denham Springs Antique District. She's been open for 4 years. There's a nature series coming to Southeastern at Livingston. This is sponsored by Miss Crystal Hardison, who came in as sort of the director on the Southeastern side, looking to engage more adults and more, adult type programs. And this was something that came up after Miss Krista Adams, who is a Louisiana master naturalist, sort of got the Denham Springs area interested in purple martins, especially at the, building birdhouses for them at Willow Woods Park in the Willows subdivision. Now, they're kind of taking that a step further to talk more about nature, animals in the area, that sort of thing. The series started this past Tuesday, or yesterday, that would have been the 4th, and it will go forward every Tuesday through the end of March. So every Tuesday, 6 p.m. at the Livingston Parish Literacy and Technology Center on the Southeastern at Livingston side, looking at they're doing a nature series. There is a podcast that Mr. David Gray did with them last week. You can go check it out, www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. And speaking of podcasts, we are going to be in the booth this afternoon with Mr. Blaine Westmoreland, who is, of course, the new coach for Live Oak High School football. Going to be talking to him about his football philosophies, what he's going to do with the program going forward, that sort of thing. So keep an eye on that coming out this afternoon. One last time with your traffic again, you're looking at delays starting at O'Neill Lane all the way to the Jubin. It's causing some surface street delays, especially at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190 in Denham Springs, as well as heavy delays on Range Avenue. A lot of the high schools are starting to filter out. So that's going to add just more traffic to the scenario. I'm sorry, folks. It has not been a good traffic week. I promise it's not my fault. I'm just the messenger. You're also looking at 70 degrees as your current temperature. 76 degrees is going to be your high. So it is going to get warm, but you're looking at some late afternoon, early evening showers. Overnight low of 49. So it's going to drop out because of the rain, and then it's going to stay cold for a couple of days, looking at somewhere in the high 60s to 70s at night. During the day, And then at night, you're looking at anywhere from 45 to 49. So it's going to be like that probably through the weekend. So please be prepared to bundle up first thing in the morning when you get out of the house. One last time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Please remember we're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We are once a week in print. We are also online, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We have an app to go with it. Hope you have a great day. Remember to get that umbrella ready for this afternoon. Try to stay dry. Remember to bundle up warm tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow morning right here in the booth.